Okay, Audi Q7 starter motor removal or replacement. The model we are working with today is the 2012 3-litre TDI Diesel. You will see videos telling you to remove the alternator, remove the engine mount, remove intercooler piping. You don't need to do any of that. Some guys are even removing the front bumper assembly for more room, but you can actually take it out from underneath and it is much simpler, so we're going to show you how to do that today. Okay, so the first step, as always with starter motor jobs, is to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery and make sure that it can't reconnect itself. Okay, so the battery is located under the left front seat of the vehicle, whether that's the driver's seat or the passenger seat, depending what country you're in. And the front seat frame, if you unbolt the front bolts, which mount directly to the floor, the whole seat will tilt backwards. Sometimes you can't get the covers to come off for to access those bolts, and then you need to remove the seat from the frame first in order to be able to do that. And then there's just a clip-on cover that goes over the battery itself. Okay, so the next thing is the tools. A tool set like this will be helpful. Specifically what you are looking for are those 10 and 12 mil multi-spline internal tools. Okay, and you can remove the front drive shaft by removing the bolts at the back of it and taking that joint out, and then sliding the front of the shaft off the spline. You will need a pry bar or something to lever that to free up the clip. Okay, and then you can get at your wiring for the solenoid just in front of the front diff, taking off the main power feed and the low tension plug. If you can't get that plug undone in place, you may need to cut the wire and then re-solder it later on. Okay, and then the bottom bolt is accessible from the front of the front diff, just reaching over top with the right length extension. It is a 16 mil bolt, and you can see I've left it loose there so you can see which one it is. And then also a 16 mil bolt. The top bolt is viewable above the diff from the rear. Okay, and this is the space where it is going to pull out. Okay, so it's going to come over the rack and over the front diff and out the back. Okay, but in order to give it enough room to come out of there, we just need to undo the Autotrans cooler pipes. Okay, so we unbolt them from the transmission end. The hoses at the front stay connected. There is a bracket on the side of the transmission that needs to be undone. Some of the wiring you will need to unclip and move out of the way, and there is also a mount up the front by where they turn into hoses that will need to be undone, and then that allows you to move the pipes far enough out of the way to make enough of the gap for that starter to come out. And you'll see this little bracket here. That is the nut for the top bolt, and it is attached to the main power wire for the starter. So once you get that bolt out, it's going to be easier to take that starter, that main power feed wire off the starter solenoid, and of course vice versa, putting it back in. Just be aware also that to get the starter out through that gap, you will need to turn it around a bit and work it to get it on just the right angle to fit out, and same going back in, of course. Okay, I hope that has helped you out today. Don't forget to click a like if you found this helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more great tips from Real Mechanics.